left these in the pickle overnight, and now I'm just dropped them into some water to rinse them off.
I've cut the chains at slightly different lengths so that after adding the clasp on the one end, they're roughly the same length. Okay, the first thing I'm doing is I'm melting the solder onto the pendant itself. This is called Anti-Flux, and if you're having trouble with the solder flowing down the chain, you can paint some on the chain, and that will keep the solder joints in the chain, because this is manufactured chain, and I imagine it's a machine putting all those solder joints together, and we don't want those to melt again and wreck what we've got. If anyone shows you video where everything's perfect and nothing went wrong and nobody ever dropped the ball or, you know, burnt the cake or whatever, it's just not realistic. That's not how it works in real life. So I hope that I'm always really honest about how these processes go. And sometimes you have to find a different way to attach things, or go about something differently because you made a mistake. You got to fix it. And that's how real life is. So I have come up with another way to keep the chain from, I melted one of the pieces of chain. And so I have now put the chain in the clip, and I'm attempting to use it on it a little differently this time. Maybe protecting it a little better, because I don't have that much chain left. And I broke the T. The T snapped off. How did that happen? Shoot. Now that I gotta cut. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe I snapped the T off. The T freaking snapped off. I've never had that happen before. That has never happened. So it was this super random occurrence. The corner of the T that I was just gently pushing against the jump ring I was soldering on snapped off. That has never happened before. It's just so weird. So I separated it from the D by heating the solder back up again and just sliding that off. I used the third hand to hold one while I pulled the other off. And I gotta cut out a new T. And that's exactly what I was talking about. I jinxed myself. Samson got out of bed, not much hair left on his head. He ate a slice of Wonder Bread and went right back to bed. Now the history books forgot about us, and the Bible didn't mention us. The Bible didn't mention us, not even once. Hey guys, I promised I would shower, but I didn't say anything about styling my hair. So deal with it. Anyway, let's get back to the project. I'm very excited. Why am I so excited today? I don't know, but it's just all an act. This is a Tagmate system by Infinity Stamps. And what it does is it holds my stamp in place while I stamp it. And I stamp the back side of my silversmith tags with a sterling stamp, and then I turn it over and I put together put the tag mate system on top, and then I put my name stamp in it. Just one single blow. And you get a perfectly, I don't know if you can see that, but it says Silversmith. So there are my two tags. The lady's chain needs to be 17 inches long, but I have to deduct the distance across the T and also the length of the clasp from that so that it ends up at 17 inches long. So I have cut this down to 16 inches, and then I will fold the chain in half and cut it in half again, and that should, well, just slightly different lengths. The side with the lobster claw on it would be slightly longer, and I want that clasp to be directly in the back. And the great thing about necklaces that are tied to it, like permanently attached to their chains like this, is that clasp will never run around and end up in the front. It's going to be connected at I'm using super flush cutters to cut a straight edge on the wire. Each of those at the opening has to be super flat so that when I solder these shut, there's a nice clean spot to solder. Okay. Now that's going to be my connector at the corners of the necklace. Open that jump ring. Chain onto it, close it, and now I need to solder that onto the chain. I mean, I've soldered the T and D onto the jump ring. I think I will hammer this ring a little flat so it has more area to join on the back. There we go. Okay. I swallowed my pride and I sought out another T and I soldered them back together again. I am going to solder the jump rings at the end of the chain now. This wire is so delicate you just can't overheat it or it'll just melt into a ball. Let me take a closer look and see what I'm doing here. Okay, it's starting to melt. The surface of the solder gets a little bit of a gritty look to it. And solder's moving away from me. I just want to get right on that join. pretty much nowhere else. There we go. I propose that from now on, we name headaches. They name wildfires. They name hurricanes like Sandy and Gloria and, you know, things like that. They name tropical storms. Margaret is really killing me right now. I mean, right across here. Oh, beautiful. All right. Bam! Last solder join on his necklace. Yay! Whoa! Whoa! Yay! Awesome. Okay, now it's got to go back in the pickle again and get the any fire scale or anything that's on it clean.
It's not me. It's you. Goodbye, Margaret.
So today we did the rest of the solder work, and for tomorrow all we have is finish work. So that will be part 3 of the making of the TD pendant necklace. So see you tomorrow, and please, oh gosh, I want to get this so right, like and subscribe. Thank you. Serenia!